Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things Denver and North. So I am a realtor in this area and I specialize in the Denver, North Denver, Northern Colorado areas. So I'm here to educate you on all of the things to do, things to see, best places to live within those areas. Be sure to check out my channel. I have lots of videos. Right now I am coming out with a video around once a month as we go into 2024. But I have made a ton of videos, so check them out. Today we are going to talk about Brighton. We are going to look at everything to do with Brighton, and you will feel like you know Brighton pretty well by the time we are done with it. So let's get on with it. Before I do, don't forget to like and subscribe. My contact details are down below if you need a realtor in this area. All right, let's talk Brighton. So you can see here, Brighton, you can see 76 here, and then over here, we have 85. So Brighton is kind of sandwiched in between that 76 and 85 corridor. There's a little bit that overlaps, comes over here and into kind of the Thornton area. And then in terms of where Denver is, you'll see if you take 76 into 25, you can get into Denver, and that is about a 20 to 25 minute drive. If we are going to go north and we are heading up into Fort Lupton, Platteville, and up into Greeley area. And then if we are heading west, then you are hitting Lafayette, Boulder, Thornton, Louisville, those kind of areas. And then if for some reason you need to go out east, you are going to hit the airport and the Wild Animal Sanctuary, and then a whole lot of nothing till you get to the next state. So that kind of gives you an idea as to where Brighton is located. I think Brighton is a great suburb. It's a great suburb for families. It is a great suburb if you are looking, for your first home and you need to be closer to downtown Denver, but you can't afford downtown Denver prices. There is a whole mix of neighborhoods in Brighton, from the very original older houses down kind of near the Main Street area, all the way out here where you have a lot of newer neighborhoods, and then everything kind of in between. Brighton has definitely grown within the past 5 years. So let's talk about kind of things to do in Brighton. Let's look at all the parks that Brighton offers. All right, here are the Brighton parks. Ta-da! Us Australians love to say ta-da. I don't know what it is about that. We say ta, we say ta-da. I don't know. Anyway, these are our parks within Brighton. And in such a small area, there are a lot of parks. So let's go over some of the more popular parks and places that you will probably visit a lot. So we have Brighton Park, and this is also where the rec center is located. So you have a nice playground, and they just redid this a few years ago. The rec center has an indoor pool where you can do your swim classes and rec classes, so exercise classes. They also have a weight room and a walking track. This is the pond outside the rec center, and I believe you can fish there at the pond. People sled there in the winter at this park. I'm trying to see if there are more pictures of the rec center or if we need to bring that up. Here we go. So indoor slide within the rec center. Like I said, walking track. You have your basketball, sports courts, and the swimming pool, all kinds of classes there at the rec center. That is one great thing about living in the Denver suburbs, is that rec centers are very common, especially on this north side of Denver. Rec centers everywhere, and they are great places to hang out with the kids. So two of the more popular parks are Benedict Park and Carmichael Park, and when the city have events, they tend to hold them at these parks. So they are good places to know about. Lots of grassy areas here at Benedict, as well as soccer fields and playgrounds. They have a splash pad. I haven't been there in a few years, but my son did like that one. It's kind of fun. You just got to be careful of those big rocks if your child is crazy, like mine was. And as you can see, they have this part of the splash pad here. It is just a great park to spend time with. There is a little skate park area and city events that happen there. And then we go over to Carmichael Park, which is also a popular one for some of the city events, a little closer to the downtown Brighton area. And once again, you have a really great playground, spaces for the kids to run around on. Here's some of the event pictures. So we'll talk about events in a bit, but they have live music, movies, things like that. And these tend to be the parks they're held at. There's a climbing wall, some sculptures, lots of different things at this park that is located right in the heart of Brighton. And then let's talk about one more popular place. And as you can see, there's plenty of parks for you to explore. But the one that lots of people love in the summer months is Oasis. And let's bring that up because it's not coming up, probably because it's not always classified as a park, but it is the Oasis Aquatic Center, and it is the place to be in the hot summer months. And you can see why right here. Slides. Slides for the big kids. They have dog days where they have the pool just for the dogs to come and swim. That is usually at the end of the season before they clean the pool. They have shade tents. You got to get there early to get those. All kinds of different pool areas. So there's a toddler area, a smaller kid area where it's more shallow. Then you have the slides for the big kids. And it really is just the place to be in summer. You can book events there. You can book cabanas there. Just a really cool place to hang out. And then you can go ahead and explore all of the other different parks that are here in Brighton. But there are some really great areas. And I'm just going to point out that over here, you actually have Bartlett State Park. Now, just outside of Brighton, but Bartlett State Park is a great area. You can walk around the lake. It's quite a long walk. In winter, you will see bald eagle nests. In summer, there's all kinds of birds, and we have seen raccoons just kind of hanging out in the tree. We like to take our dog there for a walk. You can do some boating and things on the lake. It's not always the cleanest, so you wouldn't want to swim in it necessarily, but you can take boats out. There is the archery range, and then I believe there's also a horse corral there, and you can do picnicking and kind of day camping. They don't have overnight camping, but they do have day camping and great events throughout the year that happen there at Bartlett State Park. Let's start with an overview of Brighton Schools. So Brighton Schools are in 27J. So something to know about this district is they are a 4-day-a-week district, just 4 days. So kids do not have school on Mondays. They go to school Tuesday to Friday, and they go to school for a little bit longer. It's really not that much longer than kids, say, like my kid in St. Vrain School District goes to school. It's not that much longer. They do have less days off during the year, but for some people, this 4-day-a-week works really well. I know that I have friends with kids in 27J that really like the 4 days a week. So let's start with some of the elementary schools. I'm just going to show you where they are. South Elementary School, Northeast. And you can see they're all through the neighborhoods here. Southeast Elementary School. I like how they just call them South, North, East, Southeast. And then Padilla Elementary School, Meadow Ridge Elementary School, and those are the 27J elementary schools. And then you have our charter schools, and they do not run on the same schedule as 27J. So you would want to check with each charter school that you were interested in to see what their schedule looks like. So you have Bromley, Brighton Leadership Academy, and I think there may be another one hiding in here that is you have St. Augustine's here, which is in that option kind of school area, not so much on the 27J schedule. So those are definitely things to check if you have kids in elementary school and you are thinking of enrolling them in, say, a charter school. Then you'll want to check on their schedules. Now let's look at middle schools in the area. Now guys, as a realtor, I can't steer you towards a certain school. I can't give you my kind of opinions or ratings or anything like that. But websites like Great Schools are a great place to go to research. Parents leave reviews. I would remember that often it's just cranky people that leave reviews. But it can give you an idea if you are interested in test scores and things like that. Middle schools, we have Overland Trail, Vican Middle School, and I may have said that wrong, Roger Quist Middle School, Prairie View Middle School, and Stewart is more, I would say, Commerce City area. Prairie Ridge is right on the borderline, right next to the high school. That is a very nice school, kind of newer. And then over here you actually have Adams 12, which is a different school district, but you may be able to opt in to that different school district. And then as you can see, not so far away, Fort Lupton Middle School as well. And that gives you some options there. And then you are going to find that some of those charter schools go to 8th grade. So you may want to look into K-8 school, and 27J has some of those, and so do the charter system. And then high schools in the area. We have Brighton High, which covers kind of the whole of this area, not in Brighton, but not too far, Fort Lupton High School. You have Prairie View High down here, kind of towards Commerce City. Nice school, middle school's right next to it. And then you have Riverdale Ridge out on this side. And then it goes to Adams 12 out here. So these are your 27J. And I do believe there is also a high school out here in this area that is a charter school. So that covers schools in the area. Now let's talk a little bit about what do you actually do when you live in Brighton. So things to do in Brighton. We will start with events because Brighton does put on a very steady, roll of events throughout the year. So 4th of July is a big one. There are fireworks, there are bands, there is a whole lot that goes on during the 4th of July. That is held at Carmichael Park. Like I said before, a lot of things are held at those two parks. And I know that people go and have a great time there at the 4th of July. Brighton Summerfest is another great fun one at Carmichael Park. Big festival, there's a beer garden, there's activities for kids, food vendors, live music, and it looks like they have Prince this year at for that concert, the Purple Experience. So there you go. So that's another fun one they have, and you can find the whole music lineup on their website. Flicks and Kicks is throughout the summer. There are different movies that they put on, or a concert. So it goes concert, movie, and then it might be at the different parks. So Founders Plaza, Brighton Park, Founders Plaza, Brighton Park, Carmichael Park, Carmichael Park. I'm having trouble talking today, Carmichael Park, and you have the full schedule, like the Lego movie for the kids, the Barbie movie, Jungle Cruise. So you can look up what movie or what band is playing and then head down to the park during the summer to catch those. Those are always fun. At Christmas time, there is a Festival of Lights parade. That is a great one down the main street of Brighton, and the floats are all lit up because it's a Festival of Lights. It gets kind of busy, but not as busy as some of the other places. And then you can head into one of the restaurants or breweries for dinner and a drink. And then there is also a lighting ceremony that takes place Saturday the 2nd this year, and there are things that go on there like face painting, the tree lighting, they have music and different things. So that's a fun one to look out for as well. A fun one that happens that the kids love is Touch a Truck. So in August, the kids can get up into the fire trucks and police trucks and helicopters if they're there, tractors, snowplows, loaders. This is something my son would have loved when he was little. We always had to go see tractors and things. So Touch a Truck is a great one for the kids. Now there are other ones that the City of Brighton may not hold, like they just had the Harry Potter weekend, where there is a lot of Harry Potter stuff that goes on in downtown Brighton, including places serving butterbeer. So that one is not on this list, but that is definitely something that happens in Brighton every year. And then the rec centre will have their own events that go on as well. Let's talk food and restaurants and breweries and all the wonderful things that you have along Main Street here in Brighton. And Main Street is where you are going to find most of these fabulous places. So you have Kiko's Authentic Mexican Food here. There are a lot of Hispanic Mexican food here in Brighton. You have El Camarón Loco, and I'm probably going to say it wrong and butcher the names, and I'm sorry. You have the Grill on Main Street, which is a great place for breakfast or burgers or some of those traditional foods that we all like to partake in. Main Street Cafe is another great place for breakfast and lunch. That's going to be more of your traditional greasy breakfast. Great if you have a hangover. Jerry's Bar and Grill is just as it sounds, a bar and a grill. So you can go there, grab your favorite drinks, grab a little food. La Estrelita is one of my favorite places there in Brighton. They have a fabulous patio out the back. In summer, it has the sprinklers to kind of keep you from feeling too hot. You have El Tacon Madres down here. Bougie Boba Tea out here, and I feel like this is not showing all of the restaurants in Brighton because there are some other really great spots. Babachino's is another Mexican fast food place. You have Copper, Rail Bar and Grill. So once again, those are more your traditional American foods, if that's what you are looking for. In this section, we have some India and Nepal food. We have sushi over here. South Philly cheesesteaks, Cold Stone Creamery, and some of those kind of chains along here. The sushi place is right here. It's not coming up for some reason, but it's definitely not a bad place to eat. And you have more restaurants in this little strip as well. I'll get to the breweries in just a second. You have Heaven Dragon Chinese on this side. Tacos Rapidos kind of out of town. And then you have a few restaurants dotted in and out. Santiago's is great for quick burritos. Then we get over to the area where you have the Prairie Shopping Center. And you're going to get more restaurants in that area. They are going to be more of your kind of fast food chain restaurants. But if you like those, then this is where you're going to find them. So here is that Prairie Ridge area. So here's your places like McDonald's, Panda Express, Old Chicago, Buffalo Wild Wings, Texas Roadhouse, Chipotle. All those kind of favorites are going to be in this area over by the Prairie Center, which I'll zoom out so you can see where that is. So this is Main Street, and then down here you have the Prairie Center with those fast food options. They're all out there on that side of Brighton. There is a McDonald's and Panda Express over here on this side as well. If you do like those fast food options and you are on this side of town, you're going to find them over here. So that gives you ideas on restaurants, and now let's look at breweries, because there are two really good, decent brewery choices here in Brighton that you need to know about. Something Brewery is one of my favorite breweries. They have gone over to doing more sours than anything, which kind of makes me not go as much, but they have a setup there with out the back pizza. They have games and things, and it's just a really great place, a great atmosphere, and they do make very solid beer. Big Choice is the other one that has decent beer choices. They also have a wood fire pizza restaurant. Their pizza is pretty delicious, and then sandwiches and other options there. And then Flood Stage Ale Works is another one, which is I've never been to, but I've heard it's more like a bar than a brewery. But you've got some solid choices there when it comes to breweries in Brighton. All right, and now we are going to look at real estate in Brighton, and we are going to look at some stats first for those of you that are more stat-minded to give you a good overall picture. And then we're going to go in and look at some houses that are actually for sale right now in Brighton in some different price points, and some that have recently sold, so that you can get a better, more accurate idea of what's going on. So let's look at the average prices for the past few months. In February, it was $568, $647. March, pretty similar, $564, $983. And we have 2 days of April to go, 2 days of April sales to go. But right now we are at $630, $719. So we have seen a spike there from March to April. A lot of this is contributed from the newer neighborhoods within Brighton. And then Brighton has become one of those suburbs here in Denver where people have kind of pushed out into as prices got higher, Denver, and then it makes the prices higher in places like Brighton. Let's look at how many days homes tend to stay on the market right now. February, it was 58, so a little longer. 52 in March, and then April 43, and that's the average. What is the median? The median usually gives us a better kind of feeling of what's going on in the market. So the median in February was 36. In March, it was 28, and April 14, and that sounds about right. The way we are seeing real estate move a little quicker in April than we were in the previous months. And how many homes do we actually have for sale in Brighton? 179 in April, 168 in March, 173 in February. So we have a little more inventory. That was how many homes actually came on the market at that time. Let's go now and look at some actual examples of houses. Okay, so our most expensive house for sale in Brighton right now is out on County Road 2, $4,500,000. It's been on the market 187 days, so it could possibly be a little bit overpriced. It is 6,623 square feet. To give you an idea what this looks like, it is a house on some property. It has some gardens. It has ducks swimming in the pool. It's a nice house. Photos could be better. Let's take a look at the next one, which is a much newer house in Todd Creek Farms. Now, Todd Creek Farms is going to be your neighborhood where you find an acreage, half an acre to like 2 acres. And this house is much newer. It was just built this year. It's beautiful, beautiful mountain views and sunsets by the looks of it. Needs lots of grass because it's on a big lot. But it's pretty nice inside and more what I would expect to find for this amount of money in Brighton, which is 2.6 million. All right, let's go look at a more kind of average price home in Brighton. So we'll go 620,000. That's a brand new home. So this one is $599. This one is also new. So it looks like your builder grade home. 3,000 square feet total, 2,400 square feet finished. And how about a resale? So this one was built in 2020 in Brighton Crossing. Right across from the park. Looks like it's in decent condition. Still looks pretty new. But still your standard kind of home. With some mountain views in a nice community. So that's what you're getting for under 600, just shy of 600,000. Here's an older house in Clover Meadows, which is more kind of on the outskirts of Brighton. And this is a ranch. Looks like it's had some updates since 2000. Updated bathrooms, updated kitchen. Has a full basement. And this one for sale also at 600,000. Now let's see what you can get more in the 400,000 range. Give you an idea there. So for 485, you have this more traditional ranch. Has had some updates. Also has some older pieces to it. Some more traditional, original pieces. What was that? Ooh, now that's definitely original. Some original green carpet and ooh, some tartan plaid carpet. It has a nice big backyard. It has been on the market for 11 days at $485. And how about our cheapest property in Brighton right now? Is 230,000. It is a manufactured mobile home and it looks like it needs a lot of work. That's what you're going to get for 230,000 or maybe a little less because it's been sitting a bit there in Brighton, just to give you an idea. Now I also like to go to the homes that have actually sold so we get an idea of what's actually happening. I mean, people can list their home at whatever price they want. Doesn't mean they'll get it. So here is Todd Creek again, 1.5 million. This one is just over 5,000 square feet. Pretty house. Has had some updates for sure. And it's a mix in Todd Creek as to whether they have been updated or not. It had a nice butler pantry. Has some nice ooh, that's a nice wardrobe. Some nice mountain views. Really nice updates. Finished basement with a full kitchen down there. So that one was 1.5. And let's look at how much land it's on just to give you an idea. So 1.6 acres. So that's not bad. That's not a bad price for our area. I know some of you that are moving here might be freaking out. And then let's look around this 620 mark. So this one was built in 2019, 3-car garage, nice and modern. And I would say this one has a smaller lot, 4,241 square feet, but only 2,500 finished. And yep, just shy of 1/4 of an acre. And that one sold for $625. And then let's go to our cheapest home that sold. And this is in the last 6 months. 240,000 for this shack, which is 1,300 square feet and needed quite a bit of work. So that's what you're going to get for around $240,000. If you have any questions about real estate in Brighton, I'm your girl, so don't forget my info is down below. And that rounds out our tour of Brighton today. Don't forget, if you've got any questions about anything to do with Brighton or surrounding areas, my info is down below. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me when I see those counts go up and see that people are actually watching those videos. My name is Hayley Bartlett with Go Realty here in the Denver to Northern Colorado area. Hope you're having a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. See ya.